You just became a whole different person.
We are rolling.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to C-Minus Society. I'm your host, Shez Rodriguez. I only say my name like that on this show.
I
Shez
noticed. The braces.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're Latin.
Shez Rodriguez. Yeah. It's very tough to be Latin and nerdy with braces. I'm here with Tanjareen Martine Thomas. What's up, Tans?
You just throwing in maiden names. I haven't been Martin in 8 years.
No, that's how I met you. You were Tanjareen Martin.
I was just Tanjareen. Nobody even knew I had a last name. The second I got married, they started calling me by my old last name. I'm like, you never used my last name before I got married. What are we doing?
Tanjareen Martine Thomas.
Hi, Jasmine.
How you
doing?
doing? Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
How's everything?
Everything is fantastic. My life is amazingly blessed. I have no complaints. It's fantastic. I mean, I can't lie. I can't ask for anything.
I thought your name was made up when I first met you.
Did you?
I didn't think it was like your real name.
Oh yeah, it's my real name.
Yeah, I was like, well, what do you mean by Tangerine? I was like, like the fruit?
Like, no, thank you. I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
No. It's my name, Chaz. It's my name.
Let me tell you, I don't know when I first met you, but I remember you gave me probably one of the greatest compliments I ever had doing stand-up. And we were at, I want to say it was when Arana was doing the TGI Fridays. Remember that?
I do, up in Woodland Hills.
Yep, over in Woodland Hills. And I think I was doing this very blasphemous Martin Luther King joke back in the day. And I was doing this joke, something about Martin Luther King doing stand-up, but he's bombing. And all I remember was just, nothing, you in the back, anything? I just remember that.
Oh,
I don't remember the rest of the joke, but I remember just having him bomb. And that was like the whole point. And then you were like, hey, yeah, that was one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. You're like, that's probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
And so offensive.
And super offensive.
I like bold. I like that you were bold.
And we've been friends since then.
Yes. That's a good memory. I didn't remember where I first met you.
Yeah, that's when I remember being like, oh, yo, wow, thank you. That was mad cool.
I'm a huge fan of comedy.
Yeah,
Before I started doing stand-up, I was going to as many shows as I could.
Yeah.
I was
remember seeing you around.
Comedy. Yeah, I love comedy. So now that I do it, I'm one of the only comedians who will watch other people's set at the same time that she's supposed to be performing on the same show.
That.
They don't do that. They're in the green room talking. I'm like, shut up. Let's on stage. Like, I love comedy.
We don't care. We don't care who it is.
Y'all don't.
You got to be like
Chappelle.
Chappelle.
Chappelle's the only person that y'all will shut up for.
That's the only one. Because even like when Chris Rock would come, I used to be like, oh, Chris Rock's here. And now it's like, he's just talking, trying to figure out stuff.
Yeah. That's what you realize when I used to work at the Comedy Store. Certain celebs would come in.
You worked at the Comedy Store?
I did. I would work at Fat Tuesdays with Guy Torrey and then with Gary Owens. So anybody would come in, whether it was Eddie Murphy or Chappelle or Chris Rock.
Right.
And the first couple times, you're so excited.
Right.
But if you work there, you're like, man, I was ready to get off work.
Right.
And they can do as much time as they want because they're famous. So
Yeah.
there's another hour that's added to everybody's shift. But the audience is like, yeah. But the workers are like, gosh, damn it. But I was always excited because I love comedy.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
You're from L.A. You're an Inglewood native, correct?
I am. West Side. Which camera is mine so I know where to throw up my West Side? West Side. Okay, there we go.
Oh, jeez. Now we got to get letters and shit.
It's okay.
And then what got you into, I know you're an actress, but I don't know your beginning. I don't know the Tange history of how you started acting and performing. What was the genesis?
Well, we all had to do the play in elementary school growing up. We all were forced to do one of those in the multicultural room, the cafetorium. So I did one of those when I was in first grade.
Yeah,
Loved the feeling of just my one line in Hansel and Gretel, making the cafetorium laugh.
What was your line?
I don't remember, but I was a gingerbread man, so I was holding up a cardboard gingerbread, and we all had a little dance, and we all, walked around. I just remember that the girl who got Gretel didn't remember her lines, but I remembered them. And it was annoying to me that she couldn't remember them, but she was related.
You were like, this dumb bitch.
She was related to the principal. So I was like, this dumb bitch, but I learned nepotism at the age of 6. I was like,
man.
oh, okay. So, but I love the feeling. I didn't know what it was called, but I was like, whatever this feeling is that I'm doing and making people respond to in the audience, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Dope.
So that became the goal. I was doing theater in elementary school. I took classes after school. I did free theater at Inglewood Playhouse.
Dope.
I made it my goal, but my mom was like, you have to still get a degree in college because that's when, parents always think that matters.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Mom, I'll get a degree. So I got a degree in radio, TV, film, production,
Did your
and
mom
management.
have a degree?
No, she worked at the post office.
My dad. Hey, you know what's funny? My parents didn't have a degree. My mom had one when I got older. but neither one of them had it when I was growing up. You got to get your degree. I'm like, y'all ain't got your degree.
It's propaganda because you're taught
exactly
that you need a degree to get a job. And then by the time I was in high school, they were like, you need a master's to get a job because a bachelor's isn't enough. And it's just propaganda. They keep telling you, but it's really just more and more debt. Get more debt, get more debt. So then you'll take any job we'll give you and you'll be stuck on it
forever.
Because you need the benefits and you need to pay off your debt and we control you.
And that's how they buy you.
Yeah, so screw all that. But yeah, so I went to school for radio, TV, film production because I knew
Cams
I wanted
know
to.
the deal, man. We be saying this shit in here,
deal.
don't we, Cam? Are you mic'd up, Cam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
No, everything she just said was absolutely. I'm dealing with all that now.
That's what we talking about.
I mean, it's annoying, but if I would have had children, I would have definitely told them to just be creative and figure out what you want to do, whether you want to be a boss or go to a trade school.
Right.
But all that other stuff that they have you going to school spending, 60, 70 grand to learn that you're never solving for X. Bro.
Come on.
Never do I need that. And then the smartphone came out and internet searches came out. I don't even have to say the big name company because there's more than one. But with internet search and YouTube, what do I need college for?
I always called it.
I had some master's classes and they showed YouTube videos in those classes to teach.
That part.
On.
Yeah.
And in your iPhone, there's the university app. You can take classes for free.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
Nobody even opens that app. So anyways, I went to college to please my mom and to make myself feel like I had established something, got my degree, and then...
What school did you go to?
Cal State University, Northridge.
Okay.
I was homecoming queen.
Okay,
of course you were. Which is not easy because it's 25,000 students in there. It's not a black college.
That's a lot of people.
And it was 3 girls of color running. So I could have split the vote.
Yeah.
So the fact that I won that year... I was like, woo, y'all really messing with your girl. Thank you. Thank you, Northridge. I was going to the white sororities like, hi, Tri-Delts. I'm running for homecoming queen. And if I'm elected, I'll do this and I'll do that. And they bought it.
Nice.
So I was.
And then you went back to Inglewood.
And then I went back to Inglewood like, yeah, look at my trophy, bitches. Look at my crown. But yeah, so I won that. I pledged Delta Sigma Theta sorority undergrad. And I like saying undergrad even though I don't have a master's, but only people with masters say undergrad. So I'm going to start saying it so people think I have a master's. So yeah. So I got my undergrad at Cal State University Northridge. And then I stopped. And then I had an internship at Paramount Pictures while I was in college. So as soon as I graduated, they hired me on because I had done way more than all the other interns that were teaching me what to do. I was like, well, why do you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way?
Yeah.
And why don't we do this? It'll be easier. And then the people that hired us were like, we're just going to give her a job.
Hey,
Thank you guys.
Smart.
Thank you guys for coming in for your semester. She's going to work here. So then that next year, I had people from Cal State Northridge reporting to me as interns, and I was telling them what to do, and I was like, yo, I like this.
Yeah.
But then I was signing contracts for people that were actors that were coming on the talk show that I was working on, and I was seeing how much they were getting paid for SAG. I won't say.
Okay.
But it was a popular show.
Okay.
But I was doing their contracts and seeing how much they were getting paid, and I was like, wait, I'm making good money, but they're making this for coming for an hour.
Right.
And for being on camera for like 20 minutes.
Right.
And this is my dream, not being behind the camera.
Right.
But so I quit.
Yeah.
I took a leap of faith, and my mom was like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? You have a good job, your own office, your business card. She was so proud of me. I used to give people tours of Paramount Pictures and all that. You go to the movies for free in there. And I was like, yeah, Mom, but I want to be in front of the camera. That was the whole point. I went to college because, you said go to college.
Right.
And,
Which I did that.
I did that. And I want to have my own production company. And because I went to college, I know how production companies run. I want to know, both sides of the camera so that I'm not the girl wasting their money when I forget my lines or don't know how the lights work and all that. So I wanted to know everything. And I learned that. And then I quit. And I went from having a check every single Thursday, which was always the same amount. I always knew how much it was going to be and what I could do with it. And I was a little baller, but I was like, I think God's got me.
Yeah.
And of course, I took that leap of faith. I was super, super spiritual, and I've made way more money just having faith and not having a day job. So it's been an amazing journey, but it was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Especially when you had a dope-ass job.
I did have a dope job. I used to have the keys to be able to go in the middle of the night so I could stop by on a date and be like, oh, babe, let me stop by my office real quick. I got to get my files. And I'd pull up at the Paramount lot, have my parking space. I was the ish.
And you feel free to cuss on here.
I was the shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then, what happens is that you have a dude, and he'd be like, I don't know if I'm even man enough to be with her.
Oh, yeah, I was intimidating. For sure. But they still wanted to smash, so they stuck around.
Well, you know what? That's what niggas do.
That's what niggas do.
I'm going to hang out till you tell me to go.
Exactamundo.
Dope. That's great. I never knew that whole story. I didn't know you did all that.
Yeah, man, that's how I got my start, which is why when a lot of people that came out here from somewhere else and got started in comedy, they were like, man, Tanjareen's already been doing this. Because as soon as I got that job, they let me be on an episode of the talk show, so I got my SAG card that way.
Dope.
So I've been in the union for a really long time.
Right.
And then I started doing background work when I quit that job.
Okay.
And the background work for a SAG actor was enough to give me my health insurance.
Okay.
And it was paying, I think, like $150 a day. But I wasn't just sitting there doing the background work. I was like meeting the lead actors and meeting the writers and the directors. And so I was making all these connections.
You're probably the most, definitely network, but you're probably one of the most personable people I know.
Oh, thank you.
You're amazing at, first off, I'm going to ask you this. Where's the energy come from? Because, no, not even the energy. Where does the constant enthusiasm come from? No matter what show you're on, no matter what you're doing, we've worked on a couple shows together now, right?
Yes.
And for seasons now, right? And you're always the most excited person, always. No matter what the role is, you're always the most excited person, right? No matter what the event is, you're the grandmaster host of all, right?
Thank you.
But you're always genuinely excited. And I remember wondering before, I was like, yo, it's just an act, but you're always excited. You're always enthusiastic. You're always happy. You're always energetic.
I feel.
Where does it come from? You don't ever seem like you're tired.
I should be tired because I went to bed at 5 waiting on you to give me the address for this podcast
that was
today.
Cam's fault,
5
man.
a.m. I waited.
I forgot Cam has a mic. Never mind,
This
Cam.
is false. I
I was like, man, is he going to tell me where I'm going today?
Yeah.
So I had like 3 hours of sleep, but not really because I kept waking up every 30 minutes to look at my phone like, I wonder what time I need to leave. I wonder what time I need to wake up. So I never went to
sent
sleep.
me a voice note at like 3 a.m. Chaz, where the fuck am I going? I was like, oh,
Those are the words.
Tanger's upset.
I was so mad. Anyways, I don't sleep a lot. I've had insomnia since junior high school. My mind is always racing with ideas.
Yeah.
But I eat really healthy and I live really healthy, so I feel rested.
Yeah.
And my name, Tanjareen, means bringer of energy, health, joy, and light.
Oh.
I added the health part because I'm really into health.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing energy wherever I go. I need to have it. And I know you, shout out to you, first of all. You have worked with me on a couple of shows, but let's not gloss over the fact that you are a writer or a producer on those shows. Like, it's a big deal.
Well, thank you.
Like, that's a big deal.
We don't talk about that here.
Millennials on the AMC streaming app called All Black. This guy's a producer on it. He's the reason that I play Carmen on the show. And Family Time, I've done 8 seasons of that show.
I came in at season 5, I think. We've done 9 seasons.
No, we're waiting to do 9 seasons.
Oh, we did 5.
We've done 8 seasons.
So I did 5, 6, 7, 8. So I did 4 seasons of that
And
show.
you eased up from just like punching up to being an actual writer that had his own script. And then you like head writer at the whole studio now.
Yeah.
So I need your viewers to know this about you.
They don't need to know
and your
that.
listeners.
This isn't about me.
I just need you to know because you just glossed over that. Yeah, we work together. And you're always in jetter. Like, bro, slow down and get your flowers.
This show
while you can smell them.
I appreciate that. The show's about Tanjareen Thomas,
right,
Martin Thomas.
The Martin is gone.
The Martin teen is never gone.
I'm just Tanjareen. I'm Cher,
Martine
Oprah. I got
Thomas.
one name.
That one name.
Tanjareen.
I love it.
You don't know any other Tanjareens. You don't need my
don't.
last name.
You don't.
But to answer your question, and I know one thing that I love about Chasman is that I like to read, and I got into doing audiobooks because my schedule got so busy. And so I'll call him and be like, what book are we doing this month? What book are we doing this month? And so we were both on this journey of reading books that were teaching you not to procrastinate and how to do things and have a daily routine. And so
we really built that together, which was dope.
We did. And right now I'm listening to the book about Amazon's creator.
Oh, don't. Is the Amazon way?
The Everything Store.
Oh,
the
I
Everything
don't think I
Store.
read that one.
That's the one that my friend is high position in Amazon, and she says everybody who works there, they tell them to read that book.
Okay.
So that's the one I chose because he didn't write his own book yet.
Right.
But everybody's written one about him. But I want to
Right.
read the one that the people that work at Amazon are told to read.
That's great.
So I'm in the middle of that one. It's like 16-hour audiobook.
And it's called what? Everything?
The Everything Store.
The Everything Store.
And it's really good. It's learning a lot about how he started and his whole thought process before he got to where he is now. I can't wait. I'm only in the second hour, so I can't wait to see.
And we
what
talk
I
a lot
learn.
about that about mindset. That's like always kind of the especially for like, and you know my whole story and everything. We go way back, so it's always about getting to this place of being the most efficient, most effective, all that good stuff. The not procrastinating, the obstacles in the way.
Yes.
Whether it's work, sleep, spouses,
bro, spouses.
And
so even before the audiobook journey that I took with Chaz, I started to go to a church that suggested that we write in a thank you journal because it was around Thanksgiving. And they were like, just every day, write down this week, my life is so blessed. Thank you, God, for, and then start listing stuff. So in November 2006, I started doing that, and now I do it every single day.
November 2006, you started. Wow.
So I wake up in the morning, and I just do a page, no matter how I'm feeling. And I didn't do it this morning, which means when I get home, I have to do it when I get home. But every day I write in that journal, and it puts me on a higher vibration to start my day.
Yeah.
So that way, people that are on a lower vibration, they don't reach me. So if I'm cut off in traffic, it doesn't matter. I'm up here with my vibration.
Dope.
Or if somebody, gets upset with me over the phone, I'm up here. Like, I'm just chilling. So even though I was annoyed that I didn't know where I was coming today, I wasn't really mad. I don't get upset. Like, it's really hard to push my buttons because my vibration is always up here.
Yeah, that's not what Clayton says. Clayton says you're evil.
Clayton is the meanest person ever he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, but he will give you the shirt off his back, but he will cuss you out while he hands it to you.
Oh, definitely.
But I love my baby because I've known this man since 2008, and so I know his heart is pure.
Clayton, like, y'all don't see what I see at times. I'm like, I've never seen a hint.
He just says that to get it off of him. It's so funny. It's so funny. But everybody who really knows him knows he can get upset.
Oh, yeah.
But he's the sweetest heart. He will offer you jobs. He will offer you advice. He will book you on shows. Like, he's got a great heart. He's a great husband, a great friend.
Dope.
But he does have an angry side. And I am the calm.
Yeah.
So we work well together because I'll be like, baby, is it really that bad? Serious?
No.
No.
You could be like, I'm just...
I love my baby, though. He's sweet.
That's great. All right, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Okay. I have usually 5 I go through. You kind of answered how you got into comedy one, kind of.
Well, stand-up, I didn't really answer that. Do you mean stand-up or acting?
Well, yeah, you didn't really answer how you got into stand-up per se. We did do the acting. I didn't even, it's just dope to know your entire background, though, of how you got started, because I mean, you've been in mad TV shows, mad movies. You have a huge social media following across 6 platforms or so, right?
I have 11 social media sites. It is so time-consuming.
It's got to be exhausting.
And I'm looking for an assistant. So if you live in the San Fernando Valley and can help me manage these sites and prep some little clips and videos, please DM me on Instagram at official Tanjareen. But yeah, I'm running about 11 sites.
And your Discord goes up,
Discord is lit.
Yeah.
Discord is lit. That's my latest site. That's where all of my real Team Tanjareen members hang out all day. They're waiting for me right now. I'm going to go live at this afternoon for Tangereen's Top Talent. That's on Facebook and YouTube. That's every Tuesday.
The dating show.
My dating show, Shoot Your Shot, is every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube. Also Twitch and Twitter. Yeah. All my shows are on 4 sites at the same time. But Tuesdays and Thursdays are the days that start with a T. Is when you get Tanjareen. And it's at 3 Pacific, because that also starts with a T.
Was that planned? I never even thought about that.
Yes, it was absolutely planned. Tanjareen Tuesdays, and then Thursdays, Shoot Your Shot, yes.
I never thought about it. Hey, Cam, can you make the lights tangerine color? Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible.
Can you hit it?
Oh, I'm getting my own lights.
And then get your own tangerine lights right
this
here.
Is exciting.
See if we can do it. See if we can match it right now. Cam's the light DJ, so we'll see what we can do. All right, in the meantime, while Cam does that, I want to see if... all right, so where do you see yourself in 5, 10, and 20 years from now?
Ooh. I don't think I've done a 20-year plan, so let me think. In 5 years... Okay, so I just bought property for the first time.
It's super dope, beautiful.
Thank you. And I'm really in love with the property that I bought.
Yeah.
That was part of my 5-year plan a couple years ago. So to see that come to fruition...
Cam, this is like a purple, man. Yeah. This looks like closer to a tangerine. Oh, here we go.
Oh, it went to yellow.
Over here, say like this one right here.
Oh, is it like a faded thing?
This one's...
And then it goes to red, from yellow, orange to red. Okay, I appreciate it. Can I just shout out, his goatee is amazing, Cam.
Oh, I appreciate it.
It's so perfect. Like, you have a girlfriend?
I do. Yes.
Okay, because they say that's how you grow the hair. Yeah. It's by going down on women. So
is that what they say?
Yeah, that's how you get it to connect. So you're not doing enough. Yours doesn't connect.
Yikes.
Cam,
get on it, Chaz.
Cam connects. Please your lady,
I thought
Chasman.
I was doing a good job.
Please your lady, Chasman.
But I get bored down there. I'm like,
I can tell. This tells it all. You gotta eat the box.
I wonder what time the game is on.
Hey, you gotta focus. We can talk about this after the podcast.
Oh, that's right.
Teach him some stuff. Teach him your ways.
Go
and while
back
you're at it,
in.
teach my husband. Anyways, so yeah, please the juice box, Chaz.
Well, Clayton got an entire beard all of a sudden. He had a baby face, met tan.
Pandemic was good. Pandemic was good. Yeah, he didn't have any hair on his face
Before he met you, it was clean face Thomas out here. Met Chaz. Clayton got a full beard. What happened to you yesterday? You had it.
That juice box juice will get you right.
Do you have the, you still sell the, I got that juice box shirt?
I do. On Tanjareen.com, I have merch. I have a lot of things that say wife piece, because if you feel like you're worthy of being a wife, then you should wear this. I have it in masks and shirts, hoodies, everything. I got that juice box for the fellas. I want that juice box. I have shirts that say celebrating all the black holidays with the fist. I have a big mouth, sexy with a cherry in it, and it says plant-based. It's what that mouth do. And I have another one
because you're plant-based.
Because I'm plant-based. But then I have another one that says 80% vegan, 20% mind your business.
Hey,
because
man.
I'm not always plant-based. Sometimes I have some egg whites. You know, don't judge me
You're
if I eat a
hilarious.
muffin at the coffee shop and be like, is there butter in there, bitch? If you don't get out of my plate. 20% mind your business. So, you know.
That's great.
But yeah, I have a
That's
bunch of
genius.
cool merch.
Yeah.
I have one with me and CT's head on it and a heart, and it says "We in this together."
Love it.
Black love, just
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff, something for everybody. So
Dope.
check it out, Tanjareen.com, spelled like the hat.
The hat.
Yes. Or is this on podcast audio?
I think
We have video too.
yeah, on YouTube.
No, I'm asking, is it also audio?
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so my
both.
name is
Yep.
spelled Tanjareen.
Yeah.
.com.
I love how you think of everything in 1 second.
Oh yeah.
Like you think of everything in 1 second.
I've been doing this a while.
Yeah. You're like you ever see like water spill and it just spreads over everything like that? That's how your brain works.
Oh,
You just
wow.
cover
Wow.
the mass.
What a
of,
great example.
You're like, damn, Tans, you thought of all that right now? Yeah. I started right here and got it all covered right
I appreciate
there.
you so much, Jasmine. I
No doubt.
appreciate you.
All right, so where you see yourself in 5 years?
So 5 years.
Same place? Are you living in the same place?
Living in the same place.
You still married to Clayton?
Yeah, that's my baby. That's
Okay.
my soulmate. We have an amazing relationship, and I like that we have our own parameters for our relationship. Our marriage is perfect for us.
Great.
And I don't know if I could hook that same deal up with somebody else.
Right.
And I have put in the work with this man. And I was just watching the show with Brisha Webb on Stars, and the young lady said, "Don't be the bitch before Juanita." And it was she said, you know, DBBBJ or whatever. And basically the point was, don't leave this good man who has a master's degree and a good job in stocks and portfolio and all this, because the next chick could be the one that is a millionaire with him, because Juanita was the woman before Michael Jordan's wife. And now Michael Jordan's wife is worth, you know, $200 billion or whatever, $1 million.
Right.
So I have put so much time and energy into CT, who was, of course, on an air mattress with roommates when I met him, and riding the bus. But I saw a good friend in him for a couple years, and then I saw a good heart and a good lover, and we've grown so close. He's my best friend. We talk about everything together. We love spending time together. You know, if we don't get a chance to like unwind at the end of the day and watch our shows together, we're on edge. Like we just love spending time together. So yeah, I'm still married to him in 5 years, obviously. I promised him 25 years of my life.
Oh, okay.
I didn't promise him forever. I promised him 25.
That's solid.
Because I feel
That's
like
a life sentence.
I feel like 25 is a good, and then we can renegotiate the contract. Because I feel like that's how marriages should be. You should be able to extend the contract.
You gave a longer
like
one
a
than I
lease.
would have gave. 25?
I gave him 25.
That's a quarter of your life. That's a big chunk.
Because I feel like we're successful if we go that far. Because
Yeah.
my mom was married to my dad for 22 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let me just go a little further than my parents. Because I had a great life. They got me, you know, through college and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I give him 25, we're older. And if we want to stick it out, great. If we
Right.
want to go, you know, be with somebody else, that's fine too. But I'm
Right.
promising him 25. We've done 7 or 8 so far. What have we done? Is this 7? 2014 to 7.
Yeah,
Okay,
man,
we got through the
2014.
7 years. Okay, we just did the 7 years. But the
Okay.
goal is to pay the 30-year mortgage off in less than 7 years.
Okay.
That's the goal. So we're putting extra on the mortgage,
As you
like
should.
doubling
Love it.
down,
Yep.
so that we can just not have that. You know, most of it goes to the interest.
Absolutely.
So people don't realize that,
Yeah.
and that's why it's taking you your whole life to pay it
Right.
off. So we want to pay it off and then buy some more property, residual property. You know, rent some stuff out, residual income.
Yep.
I want to be a series lead on a sitcom on a major network. that is very, very, very popular and loved. My character is respected. And I want to do
like a Mary Tyler Moore type of thing, or like
Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City.
Cool.
Anything Regina Hall.
I went way back. Sorry.
You did. I didn't know you were 56, but now I know. I want to do action comedy, so
okay.
I want to be like the female.
You're doing your stunt stunt work. Yeah, that's dope.
So I want to be like, if there was a female Rush Hour role,
dope.
like I want to be that chick who like kicks your ass and then tells you, "I said soy milk, bitch," like just something silly at the end. And what else? And then travel a lot. I love traveling, and I haven't been able to do that for the last,
I just got my passport this week. It just came in.
For the first time ever?
Yeah. Well,
you haven't been out of the country?
Nah. I've been to Canada, but that's when it was legal to go to Canada without a passport. That was back before,
Yeah, because you lived in Detroit. You could just like walk over there.
Oh, yeah. We used to go to Windsor and shit.
I'm sorry, you're from Lansing. Let me not mix it. But yeah, it's right there. So you could just easily go to Canada.
Yeah.
I started traveling back in 2007, and it was the most incredible experience because I'm like, now I understand my social studies and my histories classes. Like, hearing them talk about it was so boring because that wasn't what I was into. I knew I was going to be an actress and be in entertainment, and I loved English class and writing and all that. I love science, too. But when you actually go to another country and you see what they were referring to, it's like, oh, they should have just sent us over here. This makes so much more sense now. I understand the monarchy. I understand
study abroad and all this shit.
I mean, I think
in public school in Inglewood.
I think it's important because being there, it like understanding the currency and the time change and the legal systems of every different place, and understanding that you can go to a country and they have electricity to make their water hot in their shower. So it's like sparking as you're taking a shower. And you're like,
that's probably
I'm fearful for my
that
life.
Sounds dangerous.
Why don't they know that there's a better way to do this? But it's interesting because we think that our way is the only way. And then you go somewhere else and you're like, well, they're making this work.
Right.
They're squatting on the floor to use the toilet in Japan and in Africa. And we think it's weird, but your digestive system, you're supposed to go down on the ground.
But you got to have like good knees for that, don't you? Is there like a...
What's wrong with everybody's knees? Every time Meg Thee Stallion does a move and gets on her knees, everybody's in the comments like, ooh, your knees must be good. What happened to everybody's knees? My knees are still amazing.
No, well, that's because you've been vegan and healthy your whole life. You don't have an extra 100 pounds sitting on here. You're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Thank you.
Let your body weigh on 100. Carry around me for years and then tell me that your knees are.
Oh, that's
your knees
hilarious.
are being shambles.
Did you think you were going to be a wrestler? Because you were a wrestler in high school, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I only wrestled because my brother did. And then I stopped growing, I was going to hoop. And then I stopped growing early on. So now I was like, well, this ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not willing to work hard enough to be that dope in basketball. So that's when I started wrestling. And it was just fun. Like, and that's what we did anyways.
That
you know what I mean?
Fun.
So, I mean, it was fun. It was hard. You really had, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. There was only two things I've done that was probably as hard. I don't want to say harder, but training for boxing was hard as shit.
Oh, I loved boxing.
And we challenged the swim team to a practice, and I regret ever disrespecting swimmers because that shit was hard as shit. That was so hard. Like, we did their workout, and I was like, bro, you guys do this every day.
And it was in water?
Yeah, we did it in water.
Oh, yeah, that water is one hell of a obstacle to, like, get through. I
mean, and it was like, maybe we made fun of swimmers. You know what I mean? Well, you guys in your little Speedos. Like, we made fun of swimmers, and then they're like, come do our work. I was like, man, we're playing water polo. Come on, bitch. And then we did our warm-up. Man, they did like 10 laps of warm-up, exhausted.
Warm-up.
Then you had to tread in water. I was like, yo, what is shallow in? It's like, ain't no shallow in water polo. It was like,
Ooh, that sounds like a good workout.
We were dying, bro. Like, cramp leg. You can't get out.
That sounds so fun.
So that was like, but no, wrestling, man, it was just, and then my coach was tough. Like, that was the best thing for me because you can yell at me. I don't take it personal.
Good.
like I don't ever take words personal because I go like, well, what's the meaning behind it? That's
good for you.
That's what you need to know, But if you
Four agreements.
Yeah, exactly. 4 agreements. I'm like a Tange, man.
Read the book, The 4 Agreements. If you haven't, it is it's a brand new
that book's
version
a
of a Bible. I call it, and Bible stands for Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth.
Yeah.
One of the 4 agreements is don't take anything personal,
right.
whether somebody's giving you a compliment or somebody's telling you
right.
any shit. Know who you are, walk in that faith, and don't take anything personal. So
absolutely.
If you did that, you reading your comments under your pictures on Instagram would not hurt your feelings.
YouTube videos, hey man, they be eating you up. I was telling Cam last week, talking about how I was getting shredded early on Daddy Issues. I was getting shredded out here, But No, and so anyways, let's go 10 years. Where you see yourself in 10 years? Where you
10 years. Okay, so 10 years will be the year 2031. Wow. Okay, so home is paid off. I got the second apartment building that I own.
Where is it?
One would be in Atlanta.
Okay.
Probably bought some property in Michigan because I can do that with the change in my purse right there.
Yes, you can.
Vacationing a lot in Miami and wherever else I can go. I haven't been to enough places in Asia, so I need to get back over there.
Okay.
I haven't been to Russia or Alaska. Need to get over there. Executive producing.
Okay.
I love producing.
Yeah.
So my Shoot Your Shot dating show is a phenomenon somewhere.
Okay.
And I'm making the money off of that and still hosting it. The reason I mentioned Sarah Jessica Parker is because I like the fact that she was the lead on Sex and the City, but she was also a producer on the show.
Yeah.
And that's where I've always seen myself because I can be acting, but because I have the degree, I'm sitting there like, man, if they just did it this way, it would be a lot faster. Or why didn't they just move the cameras over there? So my mind works like that, but I don't say it because I don't want to be that bitch to be like, who does she think she is? Unless they ask my opinion. So I just need to be executive producing some stuff. Right. So, I mean, mess around and I might work at a network for all I know.
Right.
Like, or if Citric Cinema is the name of my production company, but if I could get a job at a network or partner, not get a job at, but partner with the network, the way that Kenya Barris or Shonda Rhimes does, that would be the dream.
Yeah.
To just be like green lighting other projects of people of color.
Right.
Whoo, that's always been the goal.
You're not far from it at all.
Thank you, sir.
That stuff is. I find that stuff is always closer than we think it is. Right.
If you believe,
and you're already doing the work. You're already creating and producing your own show, right?
Yeah.
That you've been running for how long now?
The Shoot Your Shot, I started in April of 2020.
Yeah.
So over a year and 3 months.
How many people get season 2s, man?
And the Tangerine Stop Talent is also April. I started in the same week, April of 2020, because I was sitting around during the pandemic like, man, we can't go to work. We can't go to comedy clubs. And then I was like, eating a lot and watching Netflix a lot. I binged everything from Tiger King to the blind marriage things and all that stuff.
Tiger King
Hot
was
to
his own
handle.
phenomenon.
Yeah, and then I was like, wait, they're gonna keep giving us shows, and I'm just gonna keep sitting here.
Yep.
I was like, nah, let me find something to do. So I created those 2 shows. And what I was talking to you about is I'm writing a feature film now about my life as a black girl working in the bar mitzvah world. So I think there's comedy in that. And so I have my beat sheet that I want to share with you.
You host bar mitzvah shows, which is crazy.
I do. I've been a friend to the Jews for a very long time.
And they love you.
My hashtag is I love the Jews and the Jews love me.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with one of my Jews, David Cohen, a couple days ago. We went and got lunch. I love the Jews, man.
Yeah.
Is it offensive to call them the Jews? I hope not. I call us the blacks, and people are like, "Don't say that." And I'm like, "We're the blacks. We're black. What? I can say it. I'm black." So
I don't know. Is the Jews not offensive?
No, Jews. You can tell someone a Jew. It's fine as long as they are a Jew. It's
okay,
fine.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know the rule. I try to not say nothing. I have no idea.
Because they keep changing the rules.
Well,
It's the same as if you called someone like a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It's their religion, so it's just referring to them based on that and how they identify.
Well, I always get in trouble when I say the blacks, but I say it all the time. Like, I'm like, you blacks love your fried chicken. Don't call us the blacks.
You're hilarious.
You can say that. I can probably not
You
say
probably
that.
can't. You probably can't.
You blacks love your fried chicken and watermelon, don't you?
You guys really love that stuff. It's killing you. Enjoy.
That's hilarious. Is watermelon dangerous, though?
Watermelon is delicious.
Oh, okay.
No. Please get the seeded, not seedless.
Yeah.
Seeded is the real deal. Seedless is
My daughter eats way too much
genetically
watermelon.
modified.
It's like she...
That's her black side.
Yeah, it's way too much. It's way too much. All right, and 20 years. Where you at in 20 years?
I've never planned it out, so let me think.
Yeah.
2040? 2041?
2041.
Let's see. I'll be...
A car's flying yet in 2041?
I'll be 46.
Cars aren't going to be flying, I don't think.
I mean, we've been let down. We were supposed to have flying cars and moving sidewalks a long time ago.
If you look at the physics of a flying car and we had the amount of cars we have now on the road in the air, we would not be here. Because do you imagine the amount of air that's being pushed? Because, I mean, essentially it'd be like a helicopter. So you would have millions of helicopters flying around. So imagine all that air current that's just being pushed around the world.
So could it be electric
We
or
die?
some
Is that what
some
you're
new
saying?
form?
We die? We get crushed?
Things would happen. It would affect like weather patterns, and you'd have all those vibrations going through the air. I mean, just imagine millions of helicopters flying around every day.
So it has to be
Plus,
like
an accident in the air
Yeah,
If you've got
that's
millions of
probably
them, it's
bad.
probably much worse than an
Probably
accident on the
bad.
ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what about just having the public bus system go in the air? So lots of us could ride together and save on all that you're talking
A
about.
controlled version of it, I think, could
Yes.
work.
So
yes.
like,
Okay.
so like planes, but cheaper.
Yeah,
I
essentially.
love it.
Or just a really high-speed monorail system that can
Yeah.
connect the world would be.
This guy's smart and good looking.
Oh, Cam is the shit, and
Yeah, he
Cam's
is.
tatted up and shit. Yeah,
Not single, huh?
Nope.
Darn it. All
Cam,
right.
Cam could be a model out here. He let his hair grow during the pandemic.
And he's got a little cuff at the
Yeah, he
end.
got the
Little,
curl.
like, did you sit there and brush it this morning and put the little cuff at
Oh,
the
I'm
end?
natural.
I do every morning, but this is a natural.
You can't remember
I
watching
love
like the
it.
Brady Bunch and they would do like 100 strokes with their
Oh,
hair.
yeah.
That's what Cam does every
Cindy,
night.
Marsha.
Yeah, he combs his hair 100 times every night.
It
before he
shows, man. It
leaves.
shows. Good stuff.
Appreciate that.
All right. So where are you at 20 years? What's 2041? What are you doing? Where we at?
I've never thought about
Where
it.
you at? Where you feeling? Where
I
are
think
we?
I'm just about to retire and just enjoy the fruits of my labor.
You're not working no more?
I think my work is more residual, like probably on my mobile device, telling people yes, yes, no, change that. Okay, great, let's air it. Like I think I'll be less having to go into an office and more just watching my money
So you're
make
in,
money
you're in
for
the south
me.
of France on your
I'm-
probably your 3D phone by then.
Yeah,
and
or
somebody's
doing this like
hologram.
on
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Iron Man, and I'm like, oh, that looks great.
All right, this is trash. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm a voiceover artist too.
Right.
So a lot of the work that I was able to do during the pandemic that was really profitable was in my own home. So I could do that anywhere in the world and continue to do that. And it's the more that things become AI, the more they're going to need voices for them. So
Right.
I will continue to thrive in that industry
You're
as
probably a
well.
little Tange cartoon, homie. You know?
I would love that.
That'd be dope.
I would love that. We got to figure out what the
Tangerine.
characters are.
Yo, it's dope if you do a show about Tangerine growing up in Inglewood, wanting to be an actress, trying to break out, blah, blah, blah. You have your friends and all that good stuff around. Your mom's working at the post office, coming home.
My dad was a truck driver
Dad's
for
a
a
truck
department
driver.
store. Worked at nights. I was home alone by
There
myself
you go.
in the daytime.
Do reenacting stuff that you've seen in a day, blah, blah, blah.
I love
what up,
this
Tony Baker?
idea.
Yeah, we
Hi,
recording.
Tony Baker.
Get
Come
outta
on
here.
in during
Get
our
outta
podcast.
Here. Get out of here.
You look nice with the mask on. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's had COVID.
Yeah, since COVID.
What'd you say?
What?
My bad, man.
Oh,
My bad. I'm sorry, man.
yeah.
I'm sorry. But you're on time. That was Tony Baker. He's spilling to another time zone. All right. That was a great answer for 20. I love that
Yeah.
you're in the future. Just
I'm in the future
no,
just
yes,
on my Tony
green
Starks.
lighting. No, yes,
Green
no,
lighting,
no,
doing
yes.
voiceover jobs, having lots of money,
Yeah.
doing a lot of charity because, the more that you give, the more you receive. It's both the same act. It's just two different sides of it. So you can't just earn, and not bless people.
Right.
So I'm very charitable. I'm part of a bunch of organizations that I volunteer my time or my money or my goods all the time. So the more that I get, the more I'm going to
Absolutely.
give. And then also one of the books that we love, that Chaz and I read, it wasn't the Now Habit. It was the other one we loved. But it was teaching us that you need to take classes and spend money on classes every year
Right.
so that you can continue to earn. And the percentage of classes the percentage of money that you spend on classes will be magnified.
Or reinvesting in yourself in general.
Yes, but it will be magnified the next year.
Right.
And so even millionaires need to take what is it, 10%
It's
of
anywhere
their
between 3
income
to 10%. Yeah.
of their
Depends
income
on what it is.
in
Yep.
classes.
And you
so,
see that come back. Absolutely.
So I just finished the Save the Cat class on Sunday. I try to take as many classes as I can.
I mean, and that's something specifically I learned when I tell people I did that UCLA writing class, and I can't say I got some things out of it for sure. That's why I learned how to outline and beat sheet and stuff like that,
Okay.
more so than anything. But after that, I got to harvest. I mean, it was like right after.
See?
It was like a couple months after that. You spend whatever I spent, a couple grand, right? And then
But it paid off.
shit, man, way
Yeah.
more than that, right?
I
Money
always-
well spent.
I always give myself a raise by studying my craft more because you
Right.
don't know what you don't know. So you need to just keep studying.
Right.
And paying people to teach me things that they're good at
Right.
so I can continue to evolve. And then the next year, my income is way higher
As
than it
always.
was the year before. So
And then you just keep investing back into you.
invest
Absolutely.
into me,
Tans?
save, and give.
Yeah.
Invest, save, give. Invest, save, give.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Come on, Tange. All right, you ready for this one?
Yes.
All right. Do you feel like you've given your very best effort yet? And what's the leap? And if not, what's the leap? And what's stopping you from getting there?
I'm sure I haven't given my very best effort. There's always distractions that I'm constantly fighting, my little demons of
Mm-hmm.
do I want to spend more time writing, or do I want to stop and go do quality time with my husband, or do I want to say yes to this event that I was invited to when I could be, creating? So there's always that constant struggle, and I'm trying to learn to balance that, but I'm also reminding myself that maybe it's okay to work 8 hours today instead of 14, Tanjareen. Maybe you don't need to work until you get sleepy.
Right.
And so I will always think there's more that can be done, but in hindsight, there might be somebody else looking at me like, dang, she's doing so much. Why isn't she satisfied? But I will never think I'm doing my best because I want to continue to do better.
Right.
So I think just being better at fighting off distractions and managing my time. Like I have office hours that my husband doesn't respect. He laughs at. But I had to set them because he would always wake up and be like, let's watch such and such. Let's binge this. And I'll be like, no, babe, I got to go to work.
Yeah.
So I always tell Chaz, I'm like, hey, I woke up while he's still asleep. I'm writing. I'm in my journal. I'm on the rooftop deck being productive. Like, I'm so glad that he doesn't hear me, because if he wakes up, he'll be like, let's make me pancakes. Make me peanut butter pancakes and let's kick it all day.
Love peanut butter pancakes.
He can do that, though, because he works really hard for like one day of the week.
Right.
So he can chill the rest of the week.
Right.
I don't have that mindset. I don't know how to do that. Like, he'll shoot 7 or 8 sketches in a day, and then hire somebody else to edit them for him. And then he just works hard. And then the rest of the week, he's just like, yeah, let's play video games. Let's go to laser tag. Let's go to watch 3 movies in the same day at the theater. And I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that, but I don't. Cause I'm like, when I finish this thing, I'm like, I got this idea, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do that. So yeah, I could always do better.
I got Clayton just buys people off for time.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. I freaking admire him. He
that.
teaches me so much about business and work ethic.
No,
I
that's
love
great.
it.
All right. We did that one.
So let me go back to a question you asked me that I didn't answer, which was how I got started in stand-up.
Oh, great.
So I was working.
I swear it was on here, but I thought you did it already. But
well,
great.
we digress a lot.
We did, definitely.
But for anybody who was like, man, she never got to that.
Okay.
I've been doing sketch comedy for a really long time because I was working as a waitress at the Melrose Improv, and a group of people came in and they were like really fun and laughy, and I was really sassy as a waitress, and they were like, oh, you're funny. You ever done comedy? And I was like, well, actually, I'm an actress. And they were like, well, we're looking for a person to replace a girl in our sketch group. Have you ever done sketch comedy? I'm like, not really, but they were like, we think you'd be good. You're funny. You have a headshot. I said, my headshot's right there, because that back then you could put headshots under the glass on the table in the Improv, and I had mine on all the tables. Dope. And they were laughing, so they took it. I started doing sketch comedy with this group called the Santa Ana Winds, and it was like 7 of us, and it went down to 5 of us, and we changed our name. Then it went down to 2 of us. It was just me and Dino Shorte, who's a writer on a lot of shows right now. But it was he and I, and
he's doing Wanda's show.
He's always been really good friends with Wanda Sykes, and that's the reason I met her and Lance Crothers through Dino Shorte. But we had a group called Fruity Big Lizard, because I'm fruity and he's the big lizard. And literally, because I just moved, I just ran into the picture of one of our flyers, and I texted to him last night. So why not show it on the show? But this is
show me first before that.
Dino Shorte and I
on
a flyer for a show that was going to be on La Brea and 3rd.
Wow.
I don't know which camera could see it, but
maybe.
Can you see it?
Use those long arms of yours.
Oh, put it up here? Okay.
Go.
But I had my hair like pushed back, and my teeth look big because I have clear braces. And I'm on his head. But we were really, really good. And if you were filming like social media back then, we would have been viral for our videos. I used to be Whitney Houston. I used to do all these different impersonations. And I used to speak Spanish. Like, it was incredible. But I was afraid to do stand-up. People were like, you're just one person away from stand-up. You went from a 7-person sketch group down to 2. Yeah. And when he's backstage changing, I'm up there doing a character. But I was afraid to do stand-up. And I wanted to try it, but I felt like, man, there's so much pressure because everybody's looking at you like, make me laugh, bitch.
Right.
And it's like, well, what if you don't think what I worked so hard on is funny? So I never wanted to do it. But I was a big fan of it. I was always going to the shows. I was always supporting, and I would go up to people that I found funny and tell them what part of your joke I thought, this was great. You got it. I was good at tagging and all that stuff, but I wasn't writing my own. So I was starting to date CT, and he would mention that he hated when girls he dated started doing comedy after him because it felt like they thought it was easy.
Well, you see it a lot.
Yeah. So he was like, I hate when girls do that. So that told me, oh, man, I could never do stand-up because now I'm dating him, and he hates when girls do that.
Right.
And he would bring it up all the time. And I'm like, man, I was almost getting the balls to do it. Or should I say the vagina, because the vagina is stronger than balls. But anyway, I was almost getting the vagina to start doing comedy. And then it would get sucked out of me. But I was watching a comedy show. I forgot which stand-up show it was, but it was one of those sitcoms where the main guy is a stand-up on Netflix. I think it was I can't remember. It was set in New York. But anyway, I was watching that show and I was telling him, babe, you got to watch the show. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's about comedy in New York. And, all of our friends in New York are on it. And he looked at me and he said, you really love stand-up. I'm like, yes, I do. And he was like, you need to do stand-up. And I was like, no, you said. And he was like,
the people who do it.
He was like, you have to do stand-up. I was like, nah, I don't have no jokes on already. He said, I'm going to make you go do an open mic. What day do you want to do it? And I was like, and I just threw out a date. So he booked me an open mic at a spot called The Salon in like Culver City or whatever on a Thursday maybe. And when the day came up, I purposely booked a meeting with a client for an MC that a bar mitzvah that I was emceeing at the same time. And I was like, when he was like, okay, I'm taking you in a couple hours, I was like, oh, babe, I can't go. I got a meeting because I got scared. He said, okay, I'll take you next week. And I was like, damn it, he's serious about this. So the next week, he puts me in his truck. He drives me down to Culver City. I do a little 3 minutes. And when I finished, I was like, you guys, that was my first time performing. And everybody was like, what? Because they had clapped so loud for me. Yeah. And they thought it was so funny. And it was some stuff. I had been writing jokes in my phone notes for years. Yeah. So I just pulled out an old set of jokes and like figured out what I was going to say and said it. Why was I writing this if I was never going to do stand-up? Right. So I made them laugh. They couldn't believe it was my first time. And he was like, yo, how did it feel? Do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah. So the same person who told me he hates when people do it is the person who encouraged me and forced me, drove me down and forced me to get on stage. So I just want to shout out my husband for making me do comedy because it's been in me for years and I love it. And since then I've won contests. I won the one at Flappers. Yeah. I got one of the funniest of the week in the Burbank Comedy Festival the following year. Like, I've been having a really good time. I did, because of him, we did Caroline's on Broadway in New York. Yeah, I've done Levity Live in Oxnard. I've done Punchline in Sacramento, a bunch of the clubs out here in LA. So I'm new at it. I've only been doing comedy since 2018, but it feels like I've been doing it a long time because I have so many comedian friends.
You're a performer also. Like, that's the thing. It's like, it's hard to be like, oh, I'm new to stand-up. It's like, if you got the performing part, that's one big part of it.
Yeah, I guess
to be able to perform because you see cats with jokes and they're just jokes and they're like, but if that person had some energy behind it, you know what I mean? And then you get the people who all act out and no jokes, right? You get those people. You feel like you got all the personality in the world, no jokes, fam. I was like, if you had some creativity behind you. Yeah. All right, last question. You ready? Because they're going to be impatient to do daddy issues, but fuck them. All right, last question. All right, you're on your deathbed. Okay, I know this took a turn.
Wow, this got dark.
This got dark quick. You're on your deathbed. You already talked to your family. Okay, you talked to everybody you love. You've accomplished every single thing on your list. Everything you ever imagined that you could have ever wanted to do, you did it successfully. All right. A reporter comes up to you and he says, Miss Tanjareen Martin Thomas.
They would never say that.
Miss Tanjareen Martin Thomas.
It's just Tanjareen
Thomas. Before you pass on to the great beyond, what are 3 pieces of advice you leave for people?
My 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, the only thing stopping you is you when you stop. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
And it means so much. The only thing stopping you is you when you stop. The second one is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And you'll see that a lot when you're looking at somebody's page and you're like, how did this person get this blessing? I'm better than them.
Or you see why some people didn't make it. And they're like,
hard work beats talent, because somebody who may not be as talented as you will be making the calls. When you got a business card from that person, did you follow up? Right. No, you set it down and said you'd call them next week, and then next week, and the next week, and you never called. But that hard worker made the call, went to lunch, got the meeting, got the pitch meeting, sold the show. The show might not even be that good, but he hired people that are better than him to work in the writing room, and now he's where you could have been. So hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Love it.
And show me a woman who's not full of herself, and I'll show you a woman who's hungry.
Show me a woman who's not full of herself, and I'll show you a woman who's hungry.
Yes, that's the quote I got from my girl, Kim Alicia Fontaine in New York. Self being capital S, though, full of herself. If you don't know who you are, you're going to let other people tell you who you are. If you don't decide what you will and will not do in this industry or whatever industry you're in, you're going to let people push your limits and have you compromising who you are. And you're never going to be fulfilled. If you don't know what you want, because you have to decide what you want and then go after it. But if you let other people, if you just fly by night and let other people decide where you're going to be, you're always gonna be hungry.
So can I rephrase it a little bit for me?
Oh yeah, because you're not a woman.
Right. So show me a person who's not full of self-love, and I'll show you somebody who's never going to be full of love. Is that close? Is that kind of it? Somebody who's always looking for love. Somebody's always looking forward to be filled, right?
Or just empty.
Mm-hmm.
Show me a person who's not full of self-love, and I'll show you a person who's
I love
empty.
the way you put it, but then I had to go like, oh, what's the dumb nigga version of that? I have to
Just
do that for
say
me.
a guy. Show me a man who's not full of himself, and I'll show you a guy who's hungry. Same thing.
But so for me, I had to go like, but what's the full of the stuff? Because then I think, oh, he's full of himself. That's what I want.
Right, and that's the thing. People look at confidence and think that it's a bad thing.
Right.
But it's not.
Right.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, how can you get anybody else to believe in yourself?
Right.
You have to know that you're a damn good writer. You're good enough to be the head writer of a major black-owned studio in California.
Yeah.
That takes confidence, and that takes knowledge of self, that I can do this.
Right.
So if you don't believe you can do it,
right,
you wouldn't have this opportunity that you
doubt.
have. So yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that's my advice.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
That's like some of the best advice I think we've had on here.
Oh, well, wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Especially that I've had you and Kanisha been my two women who've came on.
Kanisha tell you how to take the Plan B pill and not raise your kids. I love her so much.
Hey,
She's
Kanisha's
so
advice
funny.
was like, don't be afraid to be a hoe. Like I was one of them.
See? She walks in that. But also for people like not on my deathbed, study your craft. If I can throw a fourth piece of advice in there, because a lot of people just
you died.
think,
It was like one more thing.
Learn what you're doing, because a lot of people think, oh, it's so glamorous because we only post when we book a job. We only post us on the red carpet, but we don't post all the self-tape auditions that we turned in that did not get us a role or a callback, and we don't post the journey, and we don't post all the classes that we've taken or all the no's. This career is 90% or 95% no's.
Right.
So if you're not ready for that, you need to have thick skin, but you're probably going to get the no's if you haven't studied the craft. If you don't understand how to act and how to emote and how to hit your mark and what are sides, what's a call time, what's a call sheet. Like if you don't understand all that stuff, then nobody's going to want to continue to work with you.
Right. Dope. Thank you, Tanj.
You're
Man,
welcome.
thank you to Tanjareen Martin Thomas. I was going to say it anyways. Thank you for coming through. Thank you so much for blessing me and the people with the great advice, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on. I noticed you don't have a lot of women on the show.
Yeah, I'm going to have a lot more now.
So I appreciate being
we're
one of the women.
Up, man.
Tony Bacon is back in here. Why don't you just come get on camera? Let us see how good you look.
We're wrapping up, man.
I can't wait to walk in on daddy issues in a minute. I'm coming in. Anyway, follow me on everything. I'm on all social media platforms. If you know how to spell my name, it's not spelled like the fruit. It's spelled Tanjareen. And if you don't remember which social media platform, just go to tanjareen.com. Watch me on Chaz's shows, Millennials, on the All Black app, on Family Time,
you play Carmen,
on Bounce TV.
Rachel.
I'm Rachel on Bounce. I'm Carmen on All Black.
Yeah.
I host Tangereen's Top Talent on Tuesdays, Shoot Your Shot on Thursdays. Sometimes I do a fun singing game called Sing-A-Doo on Sundays. I just try to give entertainment to the people while we're stuck at home in this quote-unquote pandemic.
Right. That's coming up again.
Yes, it's on its way back.
It's on its way back.
It's on its way back.
I love you, man.
I love you.
Thank you so much.
Yay! Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Cam is cute.